No, it is not projected.
Take it on the big screen.
Yeah. Okay, shall we start? Yeah, and the mic. A very good afternoon to everybody. Myself, Professor Sujata. I am from Department of Applied Mechanics and Biomedical Engineering, and this is one of the two BTechs that our department offers. This is Instrumentation and Biomedical Engineering. You can see that some DNA kind of stuff with integrated ICs. Am I audible?
This is for the live stream setup, so you can input it.
It's, but it's on.
Yeah, it's on. This is the mic for
Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay. Okay. For the live stream purpose, I will just repeat what I said. I'm Professor Sujata. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm from the Department of Applied Mechanics and Biomedical Engineering. Okay. So, our department, there are two BTech courses. One is Instrumentation and Biomedical Engineering. The other one is Computational Engineering and Mechanics. So, this program, you can see in the title itself, there is a DNA which is actually with the chip design embedded in this, just a pictorial representation. But this is classified as a circuit branch where we teach all the core courses that an electrical engineering student needs to undergo. Why we are framed a curriculum in this way is a very specific reason for that, because we wanted to equip the students with all the fundamental knowledge with which they can actually make a device useful for the healthcare or research, healthcare in the clinical side or in the research. So that is the ultimate goal. Now, if I say you have to do a device design, you have to manufacture a device, it may sound a little bit complex. For that, we have to walk you through the entire process of why we need to develop this device, and then how this device is functioning, all the core principles of engineering plus application blended together. And that's the beauty of biomedical engineering than you look at any other engineering discipline. Any other engineering discipline, you will only look at the engineering principles. Probably you may also design devices. But when you blend the application, which is the biomedical application with it, you are going to have a wholesome point of view of basically how the instrument works. And that's exactly what we are going to do here. So this is a YouTube video, I think probably all of you might have seen. We are not going to run it again. You can probably have the link and watch it later. This tells you what is a curriculum about, how is the step-by-step development of the curriculum, and why this particular curriculum is chosen. All those things are given in detail, and what are the career prospects where these students can actually end up. As I told to some of you, it can be two ways. One, it can end in the instrumentation line. The other one is definitely in the biomedical engineering line. All these things are embedded. So this is a pretty new course, only one batch. So we have 3 students from the first batch, Mr. Kshitij, Mr. Nambi, and Ms. Anuva. Here, they are also ready to answer your questions. So we are very fortunate to have 39 of the students with bubbling energy, lot of enthusiasm. They're a part of this journey with us, and definitely I'm sure that they will be able to transmit the vibrations to you. So if you look at the curriculum, one of the major question that we receive from the parents as well as the students are how IBME is different from biotechnology or any other core instrumentation discipline. So you can really see that IBME has all these components, but what is missing in biotechnology, if you look at medical R&D, is not much. Their core biology is their main domain. And AI/ML, some is there, but it's limited, but definitely not in the field of a device, in the direction of a device development. Electronics and embedded systems are typically not there in biotechnology. Healthcare startups, they have their own separate section. I'm not saying nothing is there. There are some, but not in the same way as a biomedical device startup basically is directing towards. If you look at instrumentation, the biology component is actually missing. So what we are going to get here is that the blend of both instrumentation and biomedical. Now, basically, any student who is stepping into this program will know experience. Know means you go through the curriculum. Experience means experience and explore. You do through the laboratory sessions. So know, experience, explore. You will appreciate because you have the application blend. Right from the first semester, we are telling you why you are doing this. So you will always have that part in your mind that why am I doing each and every course to lead me develop something to solve a problem or basically to deliver something. So that goal-oriented teaching is one of the major difference that we can actually see from the other engineering disciplines. Now when you appreciate, so that basically brings you the appreciation. So know, explore, experience and appreciate to build systems for the most complicated but yet sophisticated systems of which is known. So human body, we look at the human body as from a completely engineering perspective, very different from how a doctor looks at it. Whenever you have a problem, you will be able to solve or offer a solution in conjunction with the medical fraternity. So I think I don't want to go more and more on this. I think you're all eager to ask questions and get your queries cleared. I will give this to maybe some of the first year students to say a few words and later we can open it for question and answer. Thank you. Who want to go first? Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon everybody. I am Kshitij and I am one of the students of the first class at iBME. Now, the main goal of institutes or technical institutes in the country is to enforce the workforce, is to bring development to the nation. It's to make a contribution to both the nation and humanity as a whole, right? So, one thing that is prominent in IIT Madras is the highly encouraged startup culture that's there here. Now, we have the research park. Recently, I came across the news that IITM is also starting a venture capital fund to boost startups. And if you look at, the general market as a whole, you see that there is an extremely large gap in indigenous healthcare equipment. Every single aspect of equipment that you find in hospitals today, all the way from your syringes to MRI scanners to CT scanners, etc., are all imported. And now, especially with the government going extremely bullish on indigenous and homegrown hardware, this course has been created to fit into that niche. Right? So one thing that I'd like to clear up is that this is not a biology first course. This is not a biology first course. We are not here to replace doctors or create people who go into biology research. We are here to create equipment and innovate in the field of assisting people who are in healthcare. Right? For example, some of the things you might have come across. How many of you have come across Neuralink here? Right? Elon Musk's companies. That is something that falls under the domain of what iBME aims to be. Right? So, there is biomedical in the name. Back when I was here, I was doing the Joseph seat filling last year. I was very close to not putting this in my preference list because of the biomedical in the name. But then you think about it, you go through the syllabus and you realize that it's extremely well crafted. Right? If you want to be useful in this field and graduate and then make contributions, you have to offer something that a retrained electrical engineer cannot offer. When you're building devices, you have to offer something that a retrained mechanical engineer cannot offer. And that, I think, has been extremely skillfully done in this course. Right? Which also gave us, so there are two things you can do after this, right? You can get into, you can join a company and start working, or you start your own company. And if you want to start a company, you know the motto that's been going around, right? IIT Madras, the best place to build. You've got the Center for Innovation, you've got Research Park, you've got faculty which is absolutely bullish on getting startups. Because that is what we need our modern workforce to fill, right? And I think iBME is a branch that sits right in that gap and fills that niche better than what I've come across with friends from other institutes as well, right? I'll call Nambi now. Nambi has a few words to say.
I don't think I have a few words. We almost covered everything. Yes, I'm Nambi. I'm also first year BTech student in instrumentation biomedical engineering. And yeah, I pretty much said every single point that I wanted to say. And yes, the first and foremost point I want to make clear, it's not connected to biology per se. Because many people who join like the aspiring IITM groups and all, they're like, mostly it's like, okay, it has biology, I don't want to be in it. That was exactly me when I saw iBME in my dad's, my dad gave me a list of possible courses I would get. So I was like, okay, it's biology, I don't want biology. But this is not even related to biology. We only have a course related to biology that's called physiology. That is also the engineering aspect of biology. So technically, you don't have to be very interested towards biology to get into iBME or study iBME. That's like the only point I want to be clear. Everything else it is like, do you want?
Hi guys, I'm Anuva. I am also a first year here in IBME. Adding to what both have said, yes, the culture here is beautiful for startups, for projects. All of us are doing different projects here, and that's why we're here at this time, because it's summer vacation. And I would also like to add the culture in IBME itself is very innovative and we have a diverse set of students. Everyone's doing their own thing. All of us are here for different projects. All of us are doing. So you'll have the next batch will have a lot of guidance in that sense when it comes to talking to us to understand what they want to do or to get into different projects, to start their own project here. And other than that, I would say our professors also are working in various parts of development in biomedical devices. If you feel like biomedical is not something that you want to do, I would suggest you start reading the syllabus. It's very, very well crafted, as Shilja said. And secondly, the way Nambi said that it's not biology first is also a very important point to look at, because at the end of the day, it's an engineering course. At the end of the day, you are going to be looking at the systems. At the end of the day, you're going to be looking at systems from an engineering perspective, right? So, if you are not per se interested in biology, I would suggest you start to look at this from a engineering first kind of course. That being said, I feel biology is a very, very interesting subject. And just because you didn't take it in 11th and 12th grade does not mean that you will not be able to understand what the syllabus is. And most of the students here did not take biology in the 11th and 12th grade and are still quite intrigued by the coursework and are able to work with the professors, work with the syllabus. Like Nami said, there's one physiology course that's introduced to us in our first semester here. After that, there's no pure biology course at all. It's all integrated, applied biology kind of courses. We have biomaterials, we have biomedical sensors and systems. They're all engineering courses where you're trying to understand and be at a position where you can build and work with the biological systems to actually make an impact. I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anuva. Okay, so now it's open to questions. I think the much awaited session. Yeah. Please feel free to. Yes, you can. We are all a team now. You want?
Has no idea what's going to happen 3 years, 4 years down the line, right? Yes. You have no history of placements. You have no history of students going for further studies. You have no history of, apart from the fact that you could go into non-core fields. So what then triggered this decision to join a course that was being offered by IIT Madras for the first time?
Okay, That's a very good question, actually. It's a question that bugged us for days and nights before we made this decision. But I would say it comes down to this, right? We have two directions of career that any branch, students of any branch take up. You have the core direction, where the branch directs you towards, and you have non-core, software engineering, data science, AIML, the non-core subjects. Now, non-core subjects have always, now, if you, students from all branches have the ability to pursue the direction towards non-core, so that's a fallback, right? So if nothing, despite all the uncertainties in our core direction, non-core is always an option and it's always encouraged here. There is culture to build those skills, and that is not something that's branch dependent, primarily. Secondarily, we are also having a very high percentage of electives in courses at IITM. So 40%, close to 40% of the courses are completely free for us to choose and decide in order to figure out what skill set we want to develop. The third thing to note is that companies that come here are looking for talent in the fields that they're working in, right? That is that's an important thing to keep in mind, because companies don't come here with the intention that we open it only to so and so branches. At the end of the day, they're looking for engineers who can fulfill what they want. And the way iBME is structured gives us great confidence that we are filling in a gap that is required. So these are the reasons that these are the reasons which gave me confidence of making the decision. You have something to say? Anwar?
I think adding to the core side of things, we also have a lot of faith in our professors. I think all of us did either watch the videos or come here to the sessions or go to one of the other meetups anywhere in the country. And after talking to them, you do realize that they also have the motivation to bring companies for going and to make us skilled enough to apply for jobs and to start our own businesses, etc. So, core side of things, I have faith that the department and the students here will push themselves to make a place for themselves in the market. And non-core, yes, everybody has an equal playing field. It really does not matter which branch you come from.
I would basically add to what she says. Even though you must have heard different departments say different things, now you should basically look at the curriculum and then compare what is the core set that your child, I have to basically tell the students who actually aspire to join here, you look at the curriculum and compare what difference in skill set you are going to achieve, because the core is the basic thing that any student has to achieve when you pass out in that particular thing. Then rest is elective. So from up to 5th semester only is the core. In all engineering branches, after 5th semester is completely up to you. There are some students who completely switch to management. I was talking to some of you after their core engineering. So there is enough flexibility in IITM curriculum to choose the subjects what you wanted and shape your career in whichever way you want. But look at the core set. If the core set is not very different from what you are aspiring for as a basic branch, then definitely there won't be any thing. And if you can also look at the course code, some of the core courses you are directly taking from electrical engineering, some of them from mechanical engineering. So it's the same set of people who are going to teach.
Now, one last thing I wanted to add was, I was recently talking with a few professors from the department. And it is abundantly clear that all of them have been working for years in this field. If there's anyone who has the best understanding of where the biomedical instrumentation industry is, it is in the Department of Applied Mechanics right now. The professors who are directly teaching us. And that is also visible in the sense that by the end of semester 2, right, there was a slight switch in their perspectives. And they were quick in reorganizing the courses to make it more sensible for how the industry was changing. So these are people who are having first-hand data from the center, the heart of the industry. And I think there's no better people to make these decisions than our professors who are in the field. Yes? Any other questions?
Feel free to ask me.
because you said feel free. Was IBME the first in your list? Was this the first in your list?
Yeah, in my JOSA list, I had a couple of subjects which were out of my reach. But among the subjects in reach, IBME was my first preference.
Yeah, same goes.
Oh, okay.
Depends on what you're looking for now.
Basically, you have to look into what is the interest. So one is the interest, the other one is the prospects, right? So parents will always be looking at what is the prospects. This is from my experience, I'm saying. Students will always be looking at what, they like to study, at least in the short term. You have to actually also have a vision for the future. But every engineering discipline is excellent if you look at the prospects. Only when you really grasp and learn and go, and you will not be in a position right now. You will be a different you after 4 years. Now you are only passed out, +2 passed out student, and you have your own thoughts, and you will be a very different you after 4 years. So you will be able to make lot of informed decisions. You will have lot of collaboration with other students. Your perspective will change, completely change after 4 years. And every discipline has got its own excellent future, provided you grasp it with interest. That's the only bottom line we can say. But circuit branch, many of the students, circuit branches are, in general fascinating. So if you really want to have that, I want to be excellent in this particular field, if you are very determined to do that, we can always go for that. But if you are open to everything, I think all are good. You can choose according to your interest.
I think one piece of advice that really stuck with me when I was doing my JOSA counseling was even if you're not sure what you're interested in, it's very nice to know what you're not interested in. Because the 4 years that you're here, you will have to study that syllabus. It's not like, okay, I want to do a non-core job later, it's fine, I'll take anything. Your 4 years here will be painful to went through because the syllabus is going to demand your understanding and your critical thinking and your and hours of your time. So at the end of the day, you should be at a position where you're at least enjoying what you're learning and not in a position where you don't want to study your core.
Yeah, I'd like to underline that point. You should have a good idea of what you don't want to take. I think it's very difficult for you guys who are in this position and sorting out the JOSA list at this point of time, trying to figure out whether chemical engineering is more your thing or IBME is more your thing. I understand it is very difficult. So my small little piece of advice would be go through the syllabus, and for every course that is in the syllabus, you all would have studied some fundamental concept of that in one of your chapters for J Advance, right, in your syllabus. Think about how you felt while doing that chapter and extend it from there. That's the best metric you guys have right now. But if at the end you do end up, your opinions will change definitely after 1 year.
That's what I really wanted to say. If you say don't like, why you don't like, there are thousands of reasons behind that. So sometimes you don't like biology. I am a person who never liked biology after my 10th, but I ended up here, but I started loving it when I learned it in the right way. So that's also important. How you are getting trained and how the subject is pushed into your mind is also very important initially. So that's where the training matters. Yeah. So maybe we'll take some more questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sir, one more question. Since it's new, right? You must be building the relationships and collaborations with other institutes.
It's only new in the UG field. We have been there in the postgraduate field more than 50 years. So our PG, PhD, MS strength is quite, yes. We are one of the first institutes established biomedical engineering. Already we have a lot of collaborations within India and also outside India.
That can be leveraged for this.
Of course. And right now we have this combined exchange programs are there. We can send people to the other universities. If the student has to take interest, lot of avenues for going outside and learn it. And biomedical engineering is very well established outside. So you will get lot of opportunities. Always there are good opportunities for IIT students.
I came in a little late, I'm not sure if this question was asked.
It's totally fine.
What kind of corporates employ graduates from the course side?
Corporate?
What kind of companies, corporates employ more graduates from?
So there are two different exits, no? You want mic? Am I audible? Yeah, that's fine. No, that's not for live stream. This is on here. So basically, there are two exits, I said. So it starts with, we always teach them integrating the biology or basically the goal for what we are actually building the device. So always the application is attached to each and every course that we teach. So the natural exit will be, you will be an expert in building biomedical instruments. But somehow if you feel that the biology is not your cup of tea, you want to switch a little bit more on the other engineering side, the next exit would be the instrumentation field. So any BTech instrumentation engineering is there in one of the IITs. If you look at the curriculum, all the basics are there. We have integrated. So if you want to have a switch to the other industries, that is also possible. So your question is what kind of corporates, right? Industries can come. So all the people who come for placements, which can look for electrical engineering students, these people can sit. And also the instrumentation experts or experience, they basically look at the curriculum, what you have gone through. If you have the basic course set, you will be allowed to sit for. And there is a great difference between the biomedical engineering BTech, which is being, I'm saying this again and again because a biomedical engineering part is there in the name. The great difference between the biomedical engineering which is offered in other IITs is that it's a blend of everything. You learn more of biology at the cellular level, maybe subcellular level, all these things you will blend. So the place for circuit related branch is minimal there. It is just one of the core directions in the biomedical engineering, but in this course we have given more preference to this particular aspect of it because there is a need. So that difference is what I wanted to stress on. Here rest is up to you.
What is the difference? One is here you are focusing more on the technology.
Technology, circuit related, more electrical engineering oriented, I can say. That you have to look at the curriculum. That's what I am, again, you have a copy of the curriculum? You have it. So the difference between electrical is what you are asking. So I think I was talking to one of you. The basic, the power systems, it's absent here. The basic electrical machinery, the heavy electrical vehicles, that kind of curriculum which is offered in the electrical engineering subjects we won't be having. We will be more into electronics, the blend, the technology basically, embedded systems, electronics, analog and digital circuitry, instrumentation, measurement, statistics. Even if you build a device, how you take it to the market. Especially for the biomedical engineering, we have to go through step-by-step procedures. The first thing is understanding the need. Second is how basically we integrate the engineering concepts into a device form. Then how to build that instrument. Then once you build that instrument, how to collect data, how to interpret data, how to do statistical analysis, and finally how to do the regulatory and other affairs so that you can put into the market.
Should I put
So,
the syllabus on screen?
You can. They have a copy, but you can. So this is the path that you will be walking through. So you will get a full idea of how. And once you have the idea of how a device is being put in the biomedical domain, I'm pretty sure that you will be an expert to do the device design in any other domain. Because this is the most difficult thing that one can think of because of the variability in the measurements.
So there's one other
Yeah.
Do you go deep into this integrated circuits and DSP?
We do signal processing, but we don't do chip design. That we don't do, but embedded systems, like we will be familiarizing you with how to program a chip. And once the chip is there, how to program it, how to integrate that into it. But actually the semiconductor thing, with the VLSI thing, that we won't be doing.
And DSP?
Digital signal processing is there. It is there. It is there. We can do elective. You can do elective. No, electrical also doesn't do very advanced thing in the core. Please look at the core. The other thing is, if you develop interest, you can always do the next in the elective. So get yourself convinced rather than you just listen to what others say. Look at the syllabus and compare the syllabus. Rather than the topics, go through what exactly is there under each topic, and then I think that would give you a better understanding. You get convinced yourself, so that we can. I think most of the students we got in the first semester, I think they got themselves, and maybe even if you have some doubt, it got cleared in the first year.
So as part of this innovation,
No, no.
as part of this innovation, you said that this department has been in existence even before the BTech, right? As part of innovation, what have we done? What is IIT?
You can go to our website. Yeah, we can go to our website and see. There's a lot of things which is put in there. If I say one or two, then that won't be sufficient. Please go through our website, all the details are put up there. So we have been marketed, I mean, there are a lot of startups which is there by the faculty itself, and we have been building devices. Many of them are in the clinical side, and also for national importance, DRDO and all, we are building systems and putting. I think you can, all the website details are there in the website.
Do you have any industry collaboration, somebody from medical devices field?
We do have, but potentially it's in the exploring phase, because every day you can see that the market is expanding. So there is a very good ecosystem here. Students can club themselves, and then there is a lot of, I think they will be able to tell you more about the innovation center, and maybe Nambi you can, yeah.
Related to?
No, they are looking at the whether the
Corporates in the medical devices field, they come here, do they share experiences? Is there any kind of collaboration?
No, that's not, medical, basically we invite them for the talk and we will collaborate with them. So first thing is that these are only first year students. So industry basically will be looking at maybe second year onwards. Their internship actually starts from second year onwards. So they will be definitely, we are in collaboration, talk with many of them, dialogue with many of them. They can come and take students from here, and then they can work there. Why I'm not projecting that so much is that you should have some evidence, right? If I say something, they are just up to it. Only first year has passed, but that's the idea. They can go there and work, and people can themselves write to these companies. There are so many of them in India itself.
The course is new, you have period.
This is second batch. Now this the first year is completed. This is a second batch. But typically with any other engineering discipline, that only happens. Students write to the company, and then they are interested. We can actually find collaborations. They can also come and collaborate with the faculty. We can do a joint project, or they can independently go there. And from second year onwards, most of the students will go for internships for their summer. Even first years, I think, you people are doing projects.
I would say in first year we end up working in campus or on campus projects. So that's where you build some skills and some knowledge. And then after that for sure, a lot of our seniors, of course not our branch, because we're the first batch, but a lot of other seniors have gone outside and done internships in second year and third year. And most of the time for second year internships, they end up writing to companies themselves. They're very approachable. IT Madras is very well represented for that. So yeah.
Yes, we do have for our MTechs, and they do after first year they do and they can also do the entire MTech project in the company and come back. We expect the same thing for the UGs also. Yeah, I think.
I don't think all of you are aware of this. We have an aspiring IITM group and WhatsApp groups. If any of you are not in that group, we could create you add it there. Yeah, you can put forward any doubt.
Ask IITM is what you're saying?
Yes. It's not connected to us.
It is not, because AskIITM is the group who is actually conducting this program.
Okay. Right.
So we can shift if there is next, we can continue our discussion. If you have any doubts, we can go there. Thank you very much.
We
Yeah.
hope daughter gets a place. Yeah? But,
Oh, okay.
so,